think it's probably what a lot of people are into is when you send out application after application, you get on USA Jobs and you fill out 25 applications and then you don't actually even hear anything much. The job closes and they don't even update it. You have no idea where you stand. All of a sudden it's been months and months and there's nothing. So you'd actually, for me, you would call the 1-800 number and you literally have to ask them about each job. Like, okay, this job number, they're like, oh, that's been filled. Oh, that's been filled. We just don't update anything ever. So you never know where you're at, and then no callbacks. And I would do other stuff, not just USA Jobs. I was all over websites, for where I wanted to be, businesses that I thought I could get into in the areas I wanted to be in, and no callbacks. Not even we'd like to hear more, or let's talk about your resume. It literally was. It was like it was like I wasn't even trying. For me, it was probably putting in the work on your spreadsheets, holding myself accountable, because I had you and then some people in the group, but I'm not married. Most of my kids are grown and gone. My other one's young. He don't know what's going on. So I got nobody making me do anything except me. So they called me in. They were looking for a consultant. It was an area that I had worked in prior to my most previous job. And they were looking to get into a contract there, a government contract. The people I work for, they fill government contract. And they said, hey, you've done this before. You were good at it according to your resume. You had a lot of success at that. We'd like to pick your brain. You want to come down and consult for us? And we negotiated an hourly rate that was good for me. Went down there and did that for 3 weeks, actually. Went down for 1 week. They said, okay, thanks. We think we got what we need. And they flew me home. And then the next week they said, no, we need more. Fly you back 2 more weeks. Then at literally the day before I was supposed to leave, it was a Thursday, I was leaving out Friday afternoon to fly back to Little Rock. They're like, how would you feel about a permanent position here? And then later on, what I found out was they liked my work ethic. They liked my attitude. They said they hire for personality and then they train. So that's what they told me after I already started there. It was like a 3-week interview. And that's that they called me and they made offer and I counter offered and we came to an agreement. I just figured when they came at me with a number, I'm sure they didn't come at me at the top dollar. I added about 35% to what they offered me. And then they came back and I was like, okay, you can't lose for asking, right? You can't. Right. Well, so like I said earlier, I got nothing. I was getting no callbacks. I was getting no interviews. I had no leads on anything. And I started looking for some help, coaching or some kind of, something. Found your program, looked at the costs, and I was like, okay, return on investment. It looks like it might cost more than some people probably want to spend up front, but your first paycheck more than covers the cost of the course. And if you didn't have a job for 6 more months, whereas getting the course and doing what you're supposed to and having a job in less than 90 days, well, you're way ahead. That's kind of where I was. I was like, I'm tired of doing this on my own. It's not working. I'm not getting anything. It's not like I was blowing interviews. I couldn't even get a phone call. So then by the time, I stuck with the program and did my calls and did my networking and did my spreadsheets and did what I was supposed to. And what's funny is they flew me down for that consulting gig. I also had an interview an hour away in Melbourne that same day. I passed on that interview to do this consulting gig, but they were like, well, come on down if you want to. And I ended up not doing it because they offered me a job. But awesome. I went from 0 to 2 in a week.